Or three parties that have been in government before, the PPP, and now, is it the GPP? The APRC and the incumbents party. You know, they are the only parties that have been in government. So they are the only parties who have a governance legacy and can say this is what we have to show for who we are. All other parties do not. So all other parties depend on professed integrity. And how do people actually identify integrity in a group or in an organization? As was said, the manner in which we have been formed, the manner in which we have evolved and are evolving, the structure of our party, the very youth structure of our party. You know, if you look at some of the members on the panel, that one looks like she is in grade 9, isn't it? But she is not. But she is a young person, a young female, who comes from a constitution in this country, that is the female constitution, which is the majority in the population, but the most left behind, and whose issues need to be brought to the forefront of development programming. If you look at this party, you see that religion does not determine who belongs to this party. There are 2 Christians sitting here. The rest of them are Muslims. 2 females and 5 males. You have 2 people from the urban areas. And you have rural urban, because I am rural urban and he is rural, the Secretary General. Okay? So really, if you look at what we are made of, and again, we've called you today to tell you that we had promised you that we were going to have a party congress in February. We have no excuse other than that we thought that we could have it in February, but we were unable to have it in February because we also cannot predetermine the readiness of the electorate, because we had to go around, we had to consult with communities, we had to develop membership, and we had to be able to identify representatives who would form the delegate corps to take part in the electoral process during the National Congress. So what we are showing you is we are a party of dignity, we are a party of knowledge, we are a party of skills, and we are a party of honesty. We will tell you what it is that is possible, because nobody can fool any other person if in the most beautiful lie only takes a bit of time to be discovered. So these are the variables that we have before all Gambians to prove to them that for the solution of empowering a Gambia with economic development and wealth creation properly distributed, that the welfare of all is taken care of, is resident in Citizens Alliance. And that's how we are going to let Gambians know that we are different from any other party. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be wondering why we all want to respond to the same question. I just thought I should add my voice on that particular question, because it's the reason I asked myself, why do I have to be part of Citizens Alliance? All of them, they want to chere la, why chere yeb du ben? Because chere ge lim saf, des na ci kako kaji dugub ba, kako naka bomba, kako soha, kako sim, kako tay, yeb des na ci chere ge nu muy safé. Citizens Alliance na liñu distinguish against political parties. Yes, we have 14 political parties right now, but we are different. Our name is distinctive. And we talk about citizens' rights, citizens' economic citizens, everything about citizens. And then we taught Citizens Alliance, and every citizens in this country should see themselves, because it's a relatable party, should see themselves into this party. I mean, our ideals is democracy, social cohesion, social responsibility, you know, economic prosperity. Who doesn't see themselves in Citizens Alliance? So that's the reason we are different with all political parties. Ñañu njëkkee meluñ ni ñun, ñay ñëwit duñ mëna mel ni ñun parce que ñun ñoy Citizens Alliance.
Good morning. My name is
Olof daf dee wax ne wax bi bol koo wax te jotangut ñun li ñu tax a foom mooy gëm nañ ne nekk nañ ñoo xam ne mun nañoo yore nguur am nañ li yóbbu nguur xam nañ li yóbbu nguur so ñun suñ taxawaay fu mu nekk nii mooy waxa askan bi pour won leen ñun suñ taxawaay mooy lan suñ gëm-gëm mooy lan pour ñu wooteel ñu pour ñu mun a jël nguur bi li ci kanam nag loolu des na ci loxo yàlla buñ demee ba toll ci taxawaay boobu noonu ba gis ne ñun mënuñoo am 50+1 boobu noonu des na it negotiations yu nekk on the table ñi nga xam ne bokk nañ xalaat ak ñun du mun nañoo nekk di waxtaan ak ñoom waaye loolu it des na bu ñu eggee ci jamono jooju noonu waaye suñ gëm-gëm time bi mooy ne ñun mun nañoo am 50+1 because am nañ xam-xam bi am nañ man-man bi am nañ pas-pas bi mun nañ koy def.
My question is, what are your chances that you're going to make it in the upcoming elections? Cognizant of the fact that Gambia electoral system is based on what you can do for it. Because we've seen in the past, all the other political parties, people vote on the fact that this is what you can do for me, or this is what you can offer for me. So, what are your chances of making headways come 21 election or the upcoming elections?
Well, good morning, everybody. No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Good morning, everybody. Okay. Well, okay, right now, Gambia bi, yéen ñëpp gis ngeen ne youths yaa amee Gambia bi. And female, ñun uprising female, we are coming up. So if we try to conquer the youths, I believe that we can. Okay. If we try to conquer the youths, I believe that we can conquer the country. Because the youths right now, we are more than 50%. And I stand for the youth, for the female also. So I believe our message and our voice will be heard by everybody. And the youth also will influence the aging people because not forgetting them.
Government and even the incumbent government actually talks about youth. I think my voice is good to go.
Okay. A follow-up question to that. Cognizant of the fact that we talk about youth, and we understand that the former government, even the current government, talks about youth unemployment or youth empowerment. And it's rather unfortunate that politicians use youth just to gain their political gains, and at the end of the day, do not consider the needs of the young people. So, how sure are you that you're going to make sure that you stick to your promises in trying to empower youth? Cognizant of the fact that we have a lot of youth unemployment, up to 49 or 50% youth unemployment, and we contribute 65% of the youngest population.
Okay, I don't want to talk about the previous government or the current government, but right now, seeing me stand here, I am a youth. Number one, Citizens Alliance, they prioritize the youth. That's why I am standing right next to you. So in the future, or if we hold on to government, they will prioritize the youth. That's why I am part of this party.
I'm not yet convinced as to what you can actually do.
Okay, let me try to convince you. I want you to listen to me very carefully. The economy of this country, okay? The debt level of this country is hovering around 80 to 90% of GDP. That is the total debt, both private and public debt, that this country owes, domestic and international. So why that is important? Because it puts a constraint on the ability of the country to finance investment. And the only way you can finance investment, the only way you can bring about economic growth and economic expansion is when you can finance development, investment. You have projects in infrastructure, projects that will bring about a creation of employment and sustained productivity and open up opportunities like in exports and in industry and in, you know, all the opportunities. Okay? Now, if you look at the budget, the total revenue that is generated domestically in this country, because what you spend depends on how much you have, isn't it? Now, the total revenue generated domestically in this country, it can only cater for, and history has shown that statistically, it has always been able to cater for only no more than 10% of development investment. It means, therefore, if the Gambia depends on domestic revenue alone, the economy cannot expand. So the Gambia has to borrow. The Gambia has borrowed to an extent that it has overborrowed. Now there are restrictions on borrowing. The country cannot borrow anymore. So the country can only generate money either through PPPs, public-private partnership, or through grants. Which country wants to be in that type of situation? Meanwhile, this is the country where the population is made up of more than 65% youth, young people. 65% youth. This is a country where the youth population is the fastest growing cohort of the population makeup. That's the knowledge that we have. And now what we are saying is, there are many ways of resolving that. We are economists. We have experience in programming, both nationally and internationally. And we know that if an economy does not expand, if momentum and production and productivity is not built in an economy, the people who really suffer are the people who have the capacity and energy to work and are unable to work. They have responsibility to upkeep themselves and develop a future for themselves and are unable to do that. And these are who? These are the youth. I know that a lot of governments in the past have talked about that and they have not been able to make any difference. But none of these governments, none of these parties can tell you the type of insights I am giving you now. It therefore tells you that we have the solutions. And if we can spend the whole day here, and I could give you solution scenarios through which this transformation can be achieved. But of course, if I want to do that now, it will not be a press conference anymore, but it will be a national economic conference, and those take more than a day. Thank you very much. I hope that convinces you that we know and we have what it takes to do that.
One more. In your development plans, is there any policy that you put across or in place to try to make sure that good agendas are put in place, especially with empowerment, as you talk about?
Now, let me tell you this. Look, whatever a government promises people, whatever you promise people, the most important thing, which you don't even need to promise because it's an obligation, is to develop wealth for the people. If the country's economy expands, then wealth is created. If enough wealth in the country is created, that does not mean everybody is going to be wealthy. No, the wealth is there. It could be owned by only 5% of the population. So the next issue is the distribution part of it. How do you distribute this wealth in such a way that everybody is comfortable in his own zone? Of course, the policies that are very instrumental to that are our education policy and our youth policy. These two policies center around youths, because what education does is we want to make sure that we put in place an education policy that will ensure that competence and educational capacity is built through the primary school system, into the middle school system, and in a senior secondary school system, in such a manner that performance achievement, minimum performance achievement across the continuum from grade 1 to grade 18, grade 12 rather, at which time the child is about 18 and still a youth, but transiting into either higher education or work life. We will want to make sure that the capacity, competence level that the system can produce will be no less than, say, 60–70%. In that case, you have a very highly intelligent, very highly educated workforce. So then the education policy for higher and tertiary education will also be broad-based and competency-based. You cannot just move. You have to move because you have the capacity to move, and you have passed successfully through the assessment mechanisms that show that you have the capacity to move. That is why countries like the Asian countries, Japan, and the others have made it. Look, there was a private school in New York, a private school which only received distinguished students from all over the world. And that school was set up really for the ruling class of the US. But you know, after a while, you know what happened? If you go to that school today, over 70% of the population of students in that school are Chinese and Asian looking. Because this is the part of the world whose education still depends on professed competence. So that is exactly what we'll do for the Gambia. And if they are that competent, right through education, the education system ensures that it produces competent, knowledgeable students and children, then those children will also be, we will also use our youth policy to form, because look, when you send a child through an education system, you are not just sending a child to learn literacy. You are also sending a child to learn life, to learn how to comport themselves, to learn how to develop value systems in work, and love and respect for public resources. So we are going to use the two policies, revise them, structure them in such a manner that we are going to use them for the development of the capacity, the educational and skills capacity of these children and these youths, and at the same time form them. That is, form them, give them the type of comportment that will enable them to take on successfully any task and be able to justify the resources that we are used onto them and make the best of it for themselves and for the future. That is exactly what we will do. Those are the policies. I don't know if that answers your question. Thank you.
Small question, right now, you very especially online, diaspora, CA, geology, and the Sabo. Man, start you very guided them, we have some loose hopes, we have no voice and party. Because you set up online. Jamono ñu ngi wax ne yéen ay kabbu ngeen maanaam ngeen am seen own gox boo xam ne ñoom ngeen a àndal beneen bi nag moo nekk ki nga xam ne mooy docteur Ismaila Cissé taxawoon naa fi ma ne ko président bi moo ko may góos moo ministre bi ak góos jamono ji nag ñu bari wax ne tànkaam daal safut saako comme ni ko waxee woon moom safut saako si CA jamono ji daal safut saako si CA dañ ko nag ngeen ñoom ñu geera ñeneen ñu nekk ngeen lu ak moom moo dara tànkaam mu ngi wàññi beneen bi moo nekk right now ñu nekk very friendly with media ba tamit su demee yàlla mu may leen dugub not maa ko wax yàlla mu may leen dugub mu gën a toog di am ay media house nga xam ne ñoom gën a farfalaane ndax yéen di gën a wax ne Citizen Alliance ni ngeen ko starté ni ñoom dañu ko continuer jërëjëf.
waaw jërëjëf si question boo la te nii Citizen Alliance nag ma leeralal leen ko foog naa bu ñu lancé ba léegi lañ gën a am doole sax ba pare léegi lañ gën a am membership ni te man suma booba sax dama dee am ñu bari very very influential people ñu ma dee nekk di inbox suma email si ak suma Facebook bi di ma laaj naka la ñoo mun a joiner parti bi ba pare tam dafa nekk parti boo xam ne tam ba amul i groupe man mun naa jël suma bopp as exemple man Citizen Alliance bokkuma si ñu ko start man bu ma start fekk ñoom already join nañ waaye wax dëgg yàlla man bu ma joinee musuma feel ne dañ ma def ma mel ni comme dama join groupe boo xam ne is already established man am just like on the sidelines dama bu ma joinee depuis day one dañ ma def ma feel like it's a family dañ ma def ma feel welcome ba pare dañ ma def tam ma feel ne man suma input am na njëriñ si parti bi te wax dëgg yàlla ni ñoo doxalee ba léegi man noonu laa gisee ñu ngi doxal because ñun suñu am suñ meeting sax di nga fa fekk façon nit bu nekkal di nga fa fekk all kind of passing from Gambia students yaa ngi fa working class yi upper class bi everybody is there and ku nekk is there treated as an equal member of the party loolu mooy question mu wala bu wax si fi lu ñu wax ne dañ foog ne ñun nekkuñ jël because of tam nga Gambien bi tam luñ miin tam si political parties yi mooy rally parti humbal ñëpp di la dégg all the time ngay coow ngay dem Facebook ak yooyu di coow ñun loolu taxul ñu jóg ñun lu gën a ñun lu ñoo def yëpp ñun most of the liggéey bu ñoo def is grassroots because dañ believe ne grassroots mooy the best form of politicking to reach to the public yow soo demee man su ma amee rally for example damaa toog rek ma wax ngeen tàccu ngeen humbal ngeen sabar but it's a one way conversation man maa nekk di wax nit yi ana talk it back to me but su ma demee sa kër ma toog a yow maay waxtaan a yow dinaa xam sa tur di nga xam man suma tur naa la recognize spécially yow tam di nga ma recognize spécially and also dinaa mën a digga yow sa problème si ak sa conscience yi soo ñun noonu lañ nekk di doxalee I can tell you ne ñu ngi wër fu nekk si dëkk bi right now di meet people dañoo dem ba seen biir kër yi toog a ñoom di waxtaan ak ñun loolu lañ bëgg a def because soo demee si nit ki ba fekk ko ba kiram di nga also mën a xam problème am because ñun bés bu ñu jëlee government bëgguñoo toog Banjul toog dafa di fa formulate suñ policies yi of how to solve people's problems in Basse or Salakeñe or Pakaw lu ñu bëgg a mooy dañ bëgg a dem ba boor yooyu noonu ñu waxtaan ak ñoom te suñoo formulate suñ policies ak solutions for them dañeen see involve su ko defee mu ne mën a nekk solution moo xam ne na mun a am full effect that is one lu ma la bëgg a jotal nag ne loolu amut secondly ñu ne Ismaila Cissé bokkaatul si parti bi fanaa man moo toogee rek Ismaila Cissé boo xool di ma laaj ndax presse bi ñëw naa di ma laaj lu bari about ndax gaa nge suñu presse team bi ñu ko cover ak yooyu yëpp so Ismaila moom fanaa everyday sax démb sax gisee nañ Ismaila de moom man foog naa de mu ngi si saf nit te démb rek man am naa mitina moom nit te tey sax ñu ngi war a am mitina maa ngi war a am mitina moom bori 5 o'clock pour ñu strategize on suñu outreach bu ñoo def si so moom daal fa naa Ismaila daal ba fa everyday maa ngi waxtaan ak moom si wàllum parti bi tey nag soo gisee sax mënu fee nekka is because mu ngi si université bi fu mu nekk nii mu ngi lecture am naa fa naa fi président yi first lady Sierra Leone bi mu ngi si université bi so moo tax mu jégal ñu ne moom du mën a ñëw tey foofu laa nekka waaye Ismaila tam soo ko seetloo tam comme any ordinary member rek si parti bi rek ñun ñëpp we are all members waaye itam dëgg la moom he is a bit more prominent and more famous for reasons bu ñu xam so moom dëgg la ñu bëri nga loolu waaye loolu moom du dëgg loolu amut Ismaila Gaye foog naa léegi la gën a bisi sax si parti bi sax dan before foog naa loolu leeral na sa question bi leeral na ok waaw moom mën nga la ko tontu presse bi Citizen Alliance especially man ku ma xam dina xam ne even time Yaya Jammeh man dama believe in the democratic rights of every citizen especially the press because government foog mu am ñu nekk foofu noonu di leen a keep in check te ñu gën a mën a keep government in check and put them on their toes mooy the press so man dama believe in that man and also man am a democrat dama believe in people's rights even if I differ opinion from you I believe ne am nga right so ñun suñ nekkee in power insha allah we are not gonna be have a press bi du nekk suñu ennemi because ñun nañ believe ne press bi is the fifth estate is also part of national development because yéen a war a inform nit yi lu nekk di happen ak luy xew te ñun suñ defee wrong yéen a war a inform nit yi about that waaye loolu lu tax ñu nekk suñu ennemi because of dañ believe ne freedom of press dafa important in society is very very important and man whoever knows me I've been a strong advocate for always freedom of press I remember man mu maa ñëw Gambia jógee England ñëw dëkk si dama daan wax léegi-léegi Facebook am na ñu naan suma yaay sax di wax ne doo leen wax Rafi mu bàyyi wax bi dañ ko ñëw téye fii ñu tëj ko fii on ñu rey ko fii te dara du si kii suma yaay su ma waxee ma ne ko man damaa wax su ma gaa téye man lañ téyuñ kenn man su ma dee tam man maay dee so man loolu is a fundamental principle bu am of allowing a free press to thrive in society waaw xëy na nag léegi-léegi dina am ñu ma pes waaye loolu tax ma nekk seen ennemi because at the end of the day dama believe ne loolu la def tam dafa réew bi daf ko soxla te ñun everything loo xam ne mooy yóbbu Gambie kanam ñun loolu lañ ko.
Okay, thank you. Assalamu alaikum again. Nde diamo folo la men ka fo press nin si nada in power fo be press ni nay be kala nyoy nyaadi tonya al tondo fulumo be buka tayno ko sine do foton do fanan sina ko rek bari ngaaji dal alla do ko kumatan bari kibaro komin be janjamen kibaro puray janjanna kibaro dunde janjanno la al tol koma kilin al ba nyaati la nyaani ma o ali anati a nyaajawo bari kibaro kumatan so wota al tol fanal man do yakul kon andum be la filani na ma foko wati wata ali salutin tol ka foko ngamen ko wala betar daftale hadu ngaku do ke fa betata fa ali ayita ndam betar isaje na ko wol sitano andum press mu fenneti me alon ka kuma batale because itelle ka kibaro futandi moluma kabodu ite sulata mol men because mol men ni put in power e ka kibaro futandi wolle woto press kuma menu ke jawolti tuma do wollafte kunkulin kuwala bar momo malaf kunkulin kuwala e lafte e ku tu jamme ala sabatita woto press be kele la terimal okay second question comme aka même fo Sumaila la kodo ndel nga Sumaila jele ko banku dingole mati commune tembe lori njanyame mu banku dingoti nyame o dobe lori nyame marché dala mu banku dingoti nyame so kavo Sumaila be parti o wate parti o was not the issue ndekaje nyame tumado na bendol be sotlal bina Sumaila fanan jele otumo le menu kafo ko Sumaila aketata ne balon nako Sumaila e lod la soto parti o bari lafta itan la press la ko with or without Sumaila CA will remain CA be tarla janne Sumaila bije o Sumaila kola Citizens Alliance be tarla janne kadu man Citizen Alliance lo komi nga fa be dannan tol dronel ndela fele mamari ngoy nalo way Citizens Alliance continue mumuri ngoy nalo way Citizen Alliance continue and next generation to come bela fele Citizen Alliance continue bi wol tay mbe ngoto jam woto with or without Sumaila Citizen will continue. Thank you.
Sorry, I wanted to just add on when I think the gentleman asked about whether we will give attention to the youth when we come to power, when we take over the government. And what I wanted to say is, just looking at this hall right now, I think we're all youth. Again, if you look at the party membership, it's a youth-based membership. All the members are within the youth range, okay? And I see no reason why we are a government that is constituted by the youth, that is mobilized by the youth, and the youth will work so hard, tirelessly, to put CA into power, then we will forget about the youth. Because at the end of the day, there is a quote that said, the worst regret one could have in life is not the wrong things you have done or you would do, but it's the 1,000 rights you would have done for the wrong person. And I think, I'm speaking to the youth, we have done 1,000,000 right things for the wrong people. And it's about time we acknowledge that. It's about time we know the people that we're going to put into power. Let's use those right things to help the right people, or let us use those right things ourselves and make this country right. That's what we're supposed to do. And that is what CA is made of. That is what CA is going to do when we go into power, because we know the way to do it. So I'm talking to the youth, please.
Good morning. My name is Lamine Sise from Paradise FM. I wanted to ask 3 questions, but 2 questions were answered during this discourse, so that is the attack on press by the sympathizers of the political parties in the country. But let me park that one aside. And then the other one is the final question on the table. That's agriculture. You have been talking about youths. Farmers out there in Sierra, UR, NPR, you name them, are crying every day about farming tools. They don't have fertilizers. The Citizen Alliance, do you have any plan for those farmers? That's my question.
Okay. Anga mera diam la men fo aliya moyle. Bayri banko bukatano, yiriwa bukatano, senoko man tolla Gambia jam. Ni tara far back First Republic. Ngamira na kodi folo bututo ni mune babala ngamira tiyolem. Woto senoku mata Citizen Alliance bull. Adunde membe lorin jantente mu Senegal. Woto membe seno sambala nyaaro ngalo mbetarla okunnal. And Citizen Alliance le plano le landi me ya lon ka be seno iriwandi la tumado silolu manke kilindi ka fertilizer di Senegal nyina yadi yala jari ko man kumaya mbe men kumata be soto kala nyame ngai la fa anu ala soto fengo fana yesang awato o kumata ba kala because nyana nali ajibe agriculture minister tata tamola la bar questiono dol bi jabuka wol ansano aborté la because munati na Senegal man ni dia soto la seno wato wayatina ko lulota imam proud no agriculture bari tol Citizens Alliance ni nata pawato mbayi tan la Senegal le ko momo e kambe men doku sene fengoto abe sannale a wato la andu ibe nafa soto la je la senoka because nyaaji be tumado dolbi jawol ba wato kalamu tala ka fo wato men na tereti bayo urmo ne muso ni buka complete ni tereto mansi because jelemu e ka sene e kala sene fengo wafi yete la muso la kulot ske waranto e manyu bitoke waranto e fendo otumo seno be yiri wakane seno e nafa soto bari ni First Republic ni Second Republic nyaabe mennate say we seno murundi komal andu nga plan jamal ko ninko be fola jantuma do be danna wala to bari Citizens Alliance ye plan jamal le landi seno la karol me alon ko unu nata Senegal be nafa soto la jele andu nga batina le mol fanale muru senoka bari Gambia janti dano seno ko right.
Let me just respond to that again. Sorry, and then you come. Now, you are talking about agriculture. You are talking about the fact that there are farmers out there that need farm implements and farm inputs like fertilizer and the thing. That is true. That is true. You know, we are saying that because it is a given in this country that agriculture is very important in the scheme of things. Why is agriculture important? Is it because it is very profitable? No. It is not because it is not very profitable. It is because when we were born, most of us found ourselves born into agricultural families. And we found our parents farming. Because those were the only skills they had. And when you look around the country, most people were farmers. So most people, over 70% of them, actually survived from farming. And so agriculture became very important. So if you wanted to help those people in what they were doing, you had to help them in agriculture. And we agree with that. You help people in what they are doing. But it is time for Gambians to ask themselves the question: should agriculture be the priority for public investment in the Gambia? Again, the reason I am raising that issue is because there is need for economic structural transformation. There are countries in the world, if you go to France, the richest people are the farmers. In the Gambia, the poorest people are the farmers. But in France, just about 5 to 10% of the population are farmers. In the Gambia, they are about 70%. Are you seeing the relationship? Why? Because in France, those farmers own huge farmlands, are involved in commercial agriculture, and so are able to exploit the economies of scale of agriculture. And their farming have translated into huge outputs of commodities And those same farmers invest into factories, the value chain of agriculture, and they invest into exports. And so farming becomes so prominent. But you see, the entire France is being fed only by 5 or 10% of the population. So it is also time for us in the Gambia to start asking and answering that question. And I'm not speaking only about agriculture. I'm speaking about all the sectors. Tourism. Should tourism be our priority? If you go to Singapore, I lived in Singapore before. If you go to Singapore, they don't even have farmland. But it is one of the richest countries in the world. Per capita income of over 14,000 US dollars. So you would think there is no poor man in Singapore, but there are poor people by their standards. Maybe the poor man by their standards is a rich man in the Gambia. Okay? But are they surviving from farming? No. Are they surviving from industry? Yes, but specific type of industry. So we agree that those farmers need those things. Those farmers should be helped. But there must be a policy to revisit the structure of our economy so that farming will receive its fair size of investment, and so that it will attract its fair number or proportion of the population. And we move the population through education and skills development and opening opportunities in other sectors. We move the population through policy, using policy, to those sectors. It frees up agriculture. It makes it more efficient in terms of giving it the capacity to contribute to employment, to balance of payment, to productivity, and to welfare. So that's right, because ever since we became independent in 1965, they have been giving fertilizer and farm inputs to farmers that have not made them better. Not at all. So we need now solutions that will make these farmers, rich farmers, make these farmers so powerful that when they talk, leaders will listen. Farmers have a right to be listened to. They have a right to be empowered. Thank you.
ngamure dal still kumo nyin kamur muru ne bara be mu kuma kilimala e Gambia fondin kewlu ni inganyate la yala mfe ititano ko de kata ka fo mbita bagwel komi ngafu nyame bunda jaman lebe je me yalon ko Gambia sitano ala la andun si baluno ala na balunya fanan si nyinya bari bagweta be mu balu nyinyala kata balu la nyinyala jibeje kadu nga seno soto janne nga ba soto janne na keno fanam flat land ni ajibe anin dulal
Okay. In terms of the backway issue, it's a situation that we are looking very closely, because it's very sad to have a country where the next generation of people who are supposed to move this country are going away. You'll be amazed that you go to some villages and I can tell you almost 60 or 70% of the youth population are gone, which is very sad. And the sad thing also is that it's other countries, like in Europe, that are benefiting from what Gambia was supposed to benefit from, which is the youth. Because in any country in the world that you go to, it is the youths that move that country, because they are the working force. They are the ones who have the power to do the work. The older people, are going to retire. So sometimes you look at Europe, sometimes they complain about all these immigrants that are coming in. But I can tell you, I talked to some Europeans, especially I've spoken to some Italians, and they're telling me that some of the farmlands there and some of the industry in Italy are really benefiting from the Gambians and the other immigrants that are going there, because they're having cheap labor. Some Gambians are there working the whole day for 20 euros. 20 euros is like $1,000 or so. I've seen people in Bara making that money every day, carrying, doing the same kind of manual labor that I'm doing. I speak to people. There was a time there was someone at Bara was helping me with my baggages. I had to pay the guy $300, and I asked him, on average, how much do you make here? I'm sure you make $1,000 a day. And he told me, yes, he does. So it's the sense of hopelessness they have for the system that is making them go. Because I believe someone like me, I will never go and live somewhere else apart from Gambia, because I'm doing all right. And whoever is doing all right like me are not going to go. But if you're in a situation where you wake up in the morning, you don't have nothing to do, you sit down in the booth and drinking attire all day, you don't even have money to feed yourself, you have to go to your friend's house, or your parents are still feeding you, it's a very frustrating situation. And I can imagine why someone can be that frustrated and want to leave. Because if it was me, I'll do the same thing. If I was going to wake up every morning and don't have nothing to do the whole day, if I see an opportunity to go to Europe or somewhere else to have a better life, I'll do it. But with the CA-led government, I can assure you that we have policies and ways of making employment for the youths. Let me give you one scenario, for example. In Africa here, in West Africa, the Gambians speak a very good English compared to other African countries. Our accent is very clear. What's stopping us from having call centers a park that will attract all these foreign companies to have their call centers in Gambia, where Gambians can be manning those call centers, rather than going and having it all the way in other countries? They can have it in Gambia. Gambia is only 6 hours away from Europe. Some of these call centers are all the way in India and other countries that are very far. You can have them in Gambia. Imagine the amount of workforce that's going to create. It's happening right now in Senegal. And these companies pay good money for the people who work in the call centers. And that's just one way of generating, employment for the youths. You also have the tourism industry. If you have a serious government that is really serious in improving and developing the tourist sector, you will have high-end companies, multinational companies that will come to Gambia and set up their hotels. But we hear stories of big companies coming to Gambia and ended up going back because they're so frustrated with the amount of corruption that is happening in the system. So corruption alone, I can guarantee you, if we even, I'm sure we cannot eradicate corruption because it's almost impossible. But even if the government is really serious about corruption and eradicate it by 60%, you will see wonders that will happen in this country. Because corruption is like a cancer in our society, and once it's been tackled, we can have a lot of employment it can create a lot of employment, a lot of good for this country. So I believe that we CA are genuine, we are sincere, and we believe in what we say. And once we are in power, we're going to make sure we have policies in place that will create employment for the youth and make Gambia a conducive environment that people will not want to risk their lives going backway. So that is my answer to the backway situation, and be rest assured that we are really, really concerned about it and looking into policies and solutions to stop it from happening.
ma sànni tuuti rek ci rafetlu wax nii ci yëfi ndaw yi foog naa ne baax na pour nit ñi di laajte waaye suñuy nekk di always wax Citizens Alliance yëfi ndaw yi dafa mel ni we are preaching to the choir. Wax nañ ko waxaat ko te dinañ ko continuer di ko wax Citizens Alliance ñun ndaw ñi dañ nekk su suñ diggi xol because ñun ay ndaw lañ li ndaw yi di joytu ñun su suñ bopp ñu ngi koy dunda li ndaw yi di jànkantul ñun su suñ bopp ñu ngi koy gis ñu ngi koy mettitlu ñu ngi koy daj saa yu nekka te nekk na parti boo xam ne du Dominique ko foom oo nee ne ko kaay bokk suma parti bi du rafee ko foom ne banki kaay bokk suma parti bi mboolem ku ñëw bokka Citizens Alliance yow yaa ka fa nekkoon day one yéen a bokka te décision si suñ koy make anything suñ koy def dañ koy waxtaanee ñu xuloo ci xëccoo si balañ koy d'accord te mboolem lu ñuy def ku nekk danga ci dee gis sa boppa su dee nag Citizens Alliance parti boo xam ne la dafa gestu ndaw ñi gis seen boppa suñ taajee bool bi di lekka ndaw xale bu ndaw bu ci nekk sa loxoŋ ci biir bool bi xam nga boobu su dee benn ndaw la nekk foofu noonu ñëpp a tiwloo ci boobu noonu yow sa ñàkk fayda la nga xool bi ñu leen jël ko sa loxo waaye lii problème bi fi mu nekk nii bool bi ñuy taaj fi ñuy lekkee ndaw ñi seen loxo yi nekkuñ fa ñun Citizen Alliance ñu ne buñ taajee bool bi dañ bugg a ku ci dugal sa loxo ñi cee ëpp mu doon ndaw ñi because ñun ñoo ëpp ci dëkk bi su dee liggéey bi la ñun ñoo koy def su dee fal nguur la ñun ndaw yi ñoo koy def soo lan moo tax duñ bokk fi ñuy séedaalee ñun looloo ñu tax a jóg soo su si ndaw yi bokkee foog naa dinañ ci gis seen boppa te suñ ci gisee seen boppa fooguma ne dina am dara lu ñuy war a dem ne ñu ngi ko uti ji si biti instead nit ñi dinañ ñëw di uti si ñun parce que you wouldn't know how much talent is in this Gambia until you start socializing with the young people, the youth. We have so much talent. We are not short of the talent, but we are not giving the young people their due. We are not putting them in places where they can display their talent and their skills and their experiences. And that is what Citizens Alliance is going to do. So see yourself in this party, every young person, whether old or young. And then again, let me just add, somebody asked about the agriculture, and my understanding of the question was like we're concentrating more on the combos and then the urban areas when it comes to our politics or our campaigning. No, we have gone to the remotest rural area to meet the people. We don't just sit here and call for rallies and cook a lot of benachin and hire so many gala-galas for them to leave their comfort areas to come and meet us. We have been going out there to meet them and talk to them in their houses, in their banter bars. We have shared with them the most uncomfortable environments with them to listen to them, what their cries are, what their needs are. That is what we've been doing. So if people think we're not doing anything, we're doing a lot. And I think that's the most effective way, because when you meet people in their houses, they appreciate it. You have a one-on-one talk with them. There is connection. You feel their pains. You feel their misery instead of listening to them in a huge gathering where there's a lot of drumming and noise. There is no empathy, there is no sympathy, and that is what Citizens Alliance has been doing, and we've had them. So when we come into power, we will definitely remember it. And of course, we have them in our midst. They are part of the party. They will continue to be part of the party. They will continue to be part of the decision making. In that way, when things are starting to happen, we will be looking at each other in the eye. Because sumo togon ma kamba ñu decide le na ñu wax ko. Then later on, you talk for you decide, neko fa, henya dina ko fate. Why fin koy decide mung fa ñu xolante ci bot suma xel dina dem ci luñ waxon duma mëna faté kambay duma mëna faté family kambay duma mëna faté community kambay fim joggé ak liñ ma ñaxtu won liñ ma joytu won time bi ñuy campaign, and that is what Citizen Alliance is for.
waaye yéen si suñu espace tey noonu soo leen ko jël réew mi nan la gis seen bopp bu ñu la fay corruption bi expliquant bi parce que tey nit ñi soo ko waxee rek mais bàyyi yàlla baax waaye loolu nag dañ koy def quand même notion de nekk te ñun ndaw yi dañu war a taxaw ñu ngi affaire corruption waaye yéen tamit comme yéen ndaw boo gis nañ ci te yéen taxaw ngeen pour mën a jënd te taxaw ngeen pour lii ndaw yi te ñu leen nekk ci chose bi te yow du ko office da ngeen mën a faire corruption ngir gàll jërëjëf.
Thank you very much. Okay. Harama laka angale. Dina laka olof nak, waaye harama laka angale rek pour won la jéego yi ñëw jël pour mun a wàññi suñ ko mënutee génnee yëpp dem jeex because foog naa corruption si dundi ni nit la bokk waaye jaaduwul ka corrupt sax te foog ne corruption encore njëriñ su yàggee moom dina xam ne corruption njëriñu ko parce que su ko njëriñee te ëllëg du ko njëriñ te du njëriñ doomam ak setam because ni mel doomam ak setam duñ mel noonu léegi what I'm telling you is you are asking us how, isn't it? How will we root out corruption? You've given a very good answer on how evil corruption is. You've given that. You've told us that. And we know it's evil. But let me also take you back to how corruption came about. Because look, we are a community, isn't it? All of us cannot have a generating plant in our houses to generate energy for our homes. So I have NAWEC in my house, a NAWEC plant in my house. Somebody else has a NAWEC plant. Eventually, the whole country will be made of what? Machines, isn't it? And nobody will be able to hear the other. The environment will be destroyed, and it does not benefit anybody. Because we live as a community. Is that not right? And because we live as a community, that is why we must agree now that the community must be structured in this particular manner. Somebody will be responsible for providing, a group of people will be responsible for providing the energy. Another group of people will be responsible for making sure that the community has clean water. Another group will be responsible for making sure that the community builds schools, and they are good schools, and they are safe schools, and children go to those schools. And when the children go to those schools, when they come back home, we are happy that they have gone to school because they are doing very well. Is that not right? So that is what you call in socioeconomic programming institutionalization. That is, you establish institutions. NAWEC, water resources, agriculture, central bank, TRRC, whatever C. These are all institutions responsible for one aspect of life which everybody needs. So those institutions have to be structured in a manner that they will be run based on agreed processes and procedures. They will establish systems to ensure that those processes and procedures cut out corruption. Because a procedure does not recognize the face of a person. If you come and you are supposed to weigh yourself before you see a doctor, okay? And when you weigh yourself, you are given a tag, and that tag is sensitive to an electronic machine which you pass through to go to the doctor. If you don't want to weigh yourself and you pass through that door, you can't pass through because the door will not be open. Is that not right? So if the door is not open, you cannot see the doctor. So that's what you call a system. That is what you call a procedure. That's what you call a process. Because that machine, that electronic machine does not know that this is Dominic's face, this is Aja's face, this is this man's face. But when we empower people, individual people, and you go to CA and they say Dominic is the most powerful man in CA, so lo buga CA rek demal gisi Dominic, then that's a problem. That's a problem because CA will be corrupt. But if you come to CA and you want something, they'll, what is it that you want? I want to talk about fundraising, they'll tell you go to Rafi. What is that you want? I want to talk about communication and how I can cooperate with CA to do one thing or the other. They'll tell you go to Nene. If you say, oh yes, I want us to talk about a coalition because we know that in the next election we might not be able to do well. So we want to see how we might coalesce with you so that we are, then they'll tell you go to Dominic. That's what I'm responsible for. Do you understand? So when Obama went to Ghana, and I said that during the lunch, and addressed the Ghanaian parliament, what he told them was, if Obama was a very good president in the US, took the US at a time of the financial crisis, stabilized and grew the economy, and handed it over to Trump at a time when unemployment was only 4.9%, it was not Obama alone. It was the system and the institutions Obama found there. Obama looked at those institutions, he looked for the weaknesses of those institutions, and he instituted policy to resolve those weaknesses. He instituted policy to eradicate the corruption in those institutions. And those institutions became more powerful, more efficient, more effective. America grew. So a responsible government, that is what it will do. So when a government comes here and tells you, oh yes, when we come, we are going to eradicate, how are you going to eradicate corruption? If it does not tell you that it will be a coalition of strong institutions to run the state of governance, then that government is not serious. And that is exactly what we will do. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jalo from Stillness Radio. My first question will be on, we are all talking about making policies. And I believe the government problem is not about policies. Even today we have policies. They are all lying down there. The problem is implementing those policies. My first question will be, what will CA do to make sure policies that are there are well implemented? The second question will be, economic transformational change. We all know. For the past years, we've been surviving on debts, or grants, or debts. And today's government, the taxes are increasing, businessmen are crying, investors are running away. So what procedure do CA have to make sure that the government doesn't survive on debts alone? The government doesn't survive on grants, because we all know grants will come with something else. If you're given a grant, there's something else attached to that grant. So what procedure do CA have?
Thank you for the question. I believe that any government that wants to come and depends on taxes and grants and having a begging bowl going around the world to run your government, I think you're destined for a big failure. And I believe that Gambia has the necessary resources to be able to stand on its own 2 feet and move as a nation. It's just to have a visionary leadership that can harness those potential to make this country great. And that's what CA is coming to offer. Implementation is a very good question you're talking about, because when you look at some policies on paper, I'm telling you, sometimes you say we have the best policies in the world, but in order for us to get the people to implement those policies, where the problem lies. And I believe that we really need a serious civil service reform. Our civil servants really need to enhance their capacity, and also have let them have the mindset to know that if you are in government, you are there to serve the people. You are not there to enrich yourself. If you want to enrich yourself, you go and be a businessman. But if you decide that you want to be a civil servant, you're there to serve its people. Because I can tell you, the situation right now is so sad that most things that need to be implemented in this country, once the person who's supposed to implement it is not going to benefit from it directly in terms of getting bribe or getting corruption, nothing happens. And that is what is killing us as a nation right now. So what Chairman just said is very important. We have strong institutions that tackle corruption. And if we tackle corruption, that can help in starting to implement these policies that you're talking about. Because one will think that if I do this and get caught, there's consequences for it. But right now, we all know corruption is happening on a daily basis. Have you ever heard anyone being arrested for corruption? No. I've not heard about any trial that involves someone going to court for corruption. And we all know it's happening on a daily basis, and nothing has been done about it. So I believe that these two main issues, if we tackle it, if we have a serious civil service reform, because those are the guys who are going to implement most of the policies that you're talking about, and also corruption. And once people are sitting on a chair knowing that the taxpayer are paying you to serve and to do your job properly, they will start doing it. For me, I believe these two things, if we fix it, it's going to go a long way in solving these problems. And your other question was, economic transformation. I believe within CA, we have experts that are writing up a manifesto right now. And in that manifesto, we will outline the how. Because most parties here, they just promise, and they never show you the solution of how to do it. If I come here right now and tell you that I'm going to provide free education for primary school or high school, I better also tell you how I'm going to get that money to make that happen. Because whatever you spend, you have to justify where you're going to get it from. So for us, we want to be a party that's going to show the government people how it's going to be done. Not just empty promises, but we want, especially you, the press, that whoever comes and promises you that they're going to do this and do this and do that, ask them, how are you going about to make this happen? And I can assure you that in our manifesto, we will provide governments with solutions on the how to do it. But before you provide anybody with a solution, you first of all have to take your time, know the problem, digest it, get experts to sit around it and come up with tangible solutions, sustainable solutions to that problem. And I can assure you that's what we're doing right now. And in our manifesto, all of you people will see what's in it. Thank you very much.
I know there might not be any other question after this, but I want to just tell you that one thing that is unique about CA is that, do you know that consistently before and after our launching, CA meets twice in the week, consistent, without fail. We have 2 interim structures of CA, one of which is called the steering committee. It's like an executive committee or management committee that steers the affairs of CA on a day-to-day basis. And this is made up of members of CA here, as well as the diaspora. So the meeting platform is virtual. But every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, if you call me, I will not be able to answer your call, because I will be at a meeting. I'll be meeting with people from the US, some in India, others in Jakarta. These are all Gambians, some in Angola, and we have an agenda, and we discuss issues. And then the following day, every Wednesday at 5 p.m., if you go to our party secretariat at Carnifing Estate, D107, you will find us there. And everybody comes. And we sit there and hap out all of these concerns and all of these issues. Because we believe that policies of institutions, and I told you we have to develop strong institutions, policies of institutions that will deliver development without corruption must be made from sufficient consultations. And those consultations must be ongoing, because the world is so dynamic that what was right yesterday cannot be right today. That's the dynamism. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming, to thank you for honoring our invitation, but also I want to take this opportunity to invite you to our Wednesday meetings at 5 o'clock, D107, Carnifing Estate. You are more than welcome. And even if you are not a member of CA, we will accept you into the meeting so that you are able to see how we function as an organization. Please come. Thank you very much. Well, I have been asked by the chair lady of this occasion to, on her behalf, thank you again for coming and declare that the press conference has ended. Thank you. God bless you all.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.